and welcome to Griffon Update. I'm Micah Cummins.
And I'm Brent Rosenauer. Griffon Update is our student-produced digital magazine show, bringing you news, sports, and information from Missouri Western State University and the surrounding region.
During each program, we will present an in-depth look at the people, places, and events that make Missouri Western and the Northwest region of Missouri a great place to call home.
While we do call Missouri Western home, on today's show we'll be taking a look at the many opportunities for study abroad in countries such as France, Germany, China, and many others.
We'll also introduce you to a new segment on Griffon Update featuring Amari Martin's Sports Report.
But first, it's no secret that college is expensive. That fact often leaves students scrambling for any way to save money. But there is good news. Many places offer a discount just for being a Griffon. Reporter Billy Nolan clues us in on the best discounts around town.
Missouri Western is not only a school, but a part of the community. And because of this, many businesses around town offer a student discount. And while that it's no secret that college is expensive, it is a more well-kept secret of all the businesses that do give you a discount just for being a Missouri Western student.
I only know there's a few discount places, but if I knew, like if there was a list I could look at that had more, I would definitely go to those places more, just because they do give a Missouri Western discount, but I just don't know about them.
These discounts can be great incentives for Missouri Western students when choosing a place to take their business. The large problem is just knowing where to go.
Yeah, I would definitely go with more of the places that do have the discount, just because it gives you more of an advantage for the other places, because then with that discount, you get it for just being a student.
We caught up with the manager of Caribou Coffee and Missouri Western student himself to learn not only about how much we can save, but how important Missouri Western students are to their business.
I want to say probably about 20% of all of our customers are about college students. It definitely increased once we started the $1 off, because you can get, like I come here for my morning coffee every day because I can get a large iced coffee for like $2 something. And we also have a perks program. We do have a perks program. You get a card, come through each time, we check you in, and you got a chance to get a random perk. You can use that perk. It can be like half off food item. It can be free medium. You get a free medium beverage when you sign up. And we also use the Hy-Vee Fuel Saver card, which will give you 5 cents off per gallon if you get a large signature drink. And if you get 2 of those, like happy hour, you only pay for 1, but you still get both of those count as a transaction. So you get 10 cents and you can use that towards your gas. I know no other coffee shop offers that.
So as you can see, there are many ways to stretch your dollar here at Missouri Western. For more information on other places that offer discounts to Missouri Western students, you can go to missouriwestern.edu/HR area business discounts, or for other businesses that offer discounts to students, you can also check out studentrate.com. So for the Griffon Update, this has been Billy Nolan.
With all these discounts around town, you can live like royalty, even on a ramen noodle budget.
I live on ramen noodles. For some food for your soul, you may want to add a more spiritual food to your diet. Brent, do you know what religious group has been on campus the longest?
Isn't it the Baptist Student Union?
You are
right?
so right. But who are they?
That's a great question.
Well, reporter Melissa Castor visited the BSU recently to find out.
The Baptist Student Union has been a feature of Missouri Western for many years. The BSU has been one of the largest operating religious groups of the 9 that exist on campus. The main purpose of the group has always been, and continues to be, to provide support for Christian students on campus and to share the gospel with others whenever possible. Under the direction of Paul Damery, the Baptist Student Union has begun to put an emphasis on outreach.
Well, the BSU has been here since sometime in the 1970s, is from best I can gather. I have been here as the director since 2005. During our Thursday night meetings, we have food beforehand. It's brought in by some local churches, so we just hang out, eat, have a good time. Free food, right? You know, it's always a draw. And then during our meetings, it's much like a church service in some ways, but it's more informal. And so we have a student-led worship band, and so they play songs and stuff, and everyone sings along usually. And I or one of the students will teach from the Bible for a while, and then afterwards we'll have a time of fellowship, hang out, play this game around the pool table we call Scum, which is pretty popular. It sounds kind of weird, I suppose, for a Christian group to have a game called Scum, but it's a fun way actually to get to know other people. Only uses 2 balls, fast-paced. It's pretty fun.
The BSU is located directly across the street from Eder Hall and hosts the club's weekly Thursday meetings. Many members say that they've made friends through BSU and that they would like to contribute to the organization in some facet even after graduating.
I actually really like the BSU, and I was just like, why am I not going there as much as I should? And so I just kind of started deciding to go there, and then after spring break mission trip, I was just like, I gotta stay here. So
coming to the BSU kind of helped me find the friends I had been looking for, and gave me that sense of belonging. I moved up here not knowing anyone. Most of my friends, I wouldn't say all my friends go to the BSU, but a good chunk of my close friends were made through the BSU and BSU events.
Oh, of course, I couldn't even count them all up, but through the last 2 years I've made a lot of friends, and I used to be a really shy person, and I wasn't great at making friends, so the BSU's kind of brought that out in me, and yeah, I've made a lot of friends. I would, if Paul will allow it, yes, I want to. Someday I want to be a youth pastor or a college pastor, so if not here, I hope somewhere else.
The BSU generally has a turnout of 40 or more students on its Thursday night meetings. After a worship service and a short Bible study, the BSU hosts a dinner and gives the students time to socialize, play games, or watch television until it concludes for the evening. The BSU feels like it has made a lasting difference in the lives of some students on campus, and they hope that they will be able to continue to do so for many years to come.
Well, I hope that we've made a difference encouraging students. I know there have been some students who stayed longer at Missouri Western than they otherwise would have because of friendships they made through the BSU. We've had others who have graduated and been successful at living for Jesus in their life after college, in the business world or in nursing or education, a whole variety of different things like that. So I feel like we've made an impact.
For more information on the Baptist Student Union, please contact Paul Damery or visit their Facebook page. We'll be right back.
At Missouri Western, it's on us.
It's on us, all of us, to take responsibility and stop sexual assault.
To create a campus environment where everyone is safe and feels safe.
To realize that ending sexual assault is not an individual endeavor,
but a collective effort.
To understand that it affects not only students, but faculty and staff members alike.
At Missouri Western, we take action.
It's on us to look out for each other and not look the other way.
We step up and say something.
We support survivors. We are going to be a part of the solution and not the problem.
It's on us to intervene and take responsibility.
So take action because we can and will make a difference.
At Missouri Western,
it's on us
to put an end to sexual assault.
Begin by taking the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back. For 22 years, the Our Dan Bulwark on Vacation has brought political discussion to our campus. But this year's subject was one that has been a serious topic in recent years.
That's right. Discussing the issue of global terrorism has never been more timely. And the 2015 convocation guest, Tom Ridge, may be the world's foremost expert.
Would you please join me in extending a warm Missouri welcome to a distinguished combat veteran and a great American, Tom Ridge.
Tom Ridge, the 43rd Governor of Pennsylvania and first ever Secretary of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, was on campus last month to discuss the issue of global terrorism. Ridge was appointed by President George W. Bush as the first assistant to the President for Homeland Security after the tragic events of 9/11, and is considered an expert on national security and terrorism. While the title of Ridge's speech was ISIS, the growing threat of global terrorism, the Vietnam veteran also spoke about issues within the U.S. government that he believes need to be addressed.
I know there's a lot of disappointment with what appears to be a dysfunctional enterprise called federal government. Parties can't seem to get along, compromise seems to be a dirty word, and problems linger. Much discussion about the problem, very few solutions.
Ridge said the solution to the nation's problems could be found in its youth, who he urged to get more informed and more active in politics.
One of the main things was, that our generation needs to go out and vote, which is something I do believe that needs to happen.
But not all students agree. Some believe there are better ways to get involved.
I don't think it's necessarily that we're not voting, it's more that we're not participating. Voting isn't always the best form of participation.
Ridge also discussed issues such as bipartisanism and the Iran nuclear deal, which led some students to wonder what the main point of the convocation was.
ISIS wasn't the critical issue that was discussed. I'm not entirely sure what was the critical issue discussed. There was a lot of different things that he talked about.
Some students still wanted a direct answer to the issue of terrorism after the convocation ended.
What would his plan be to combat terrorism now with the development of ISIS and the sort of resurgence in terrorism that has happened?
The 2015 R. Dan Boulware Convocation on Critical Issues was one in a long line that began in 1993 as a way to enrich the experiences of students on campus. Past guests have included historian Douglas Brinkley, who wrote a biography on journalist Walter Cronkite, historian Doris Kearns Goodwin, whose book about Lincoln inspired the movie Lincoln, and business magnate T. Boone Pickens, who discussed America's energy future. Many guests have been historians and politicians, and some people want to try something new.
We're talking about current events and politics. I'd like to see somebody who's talking about current events in more of a liberal arts and sciences realm.
For Griffon Update, I'm Brendan Welch.
If you enjoyed the convocation and want to hear more of what Tom Ridge has to say, or if you missed the convocation, you can pick up several of his books at the Hearns Library.
Brent, have you ever traveled to study abroad?
Well, no.
If you are interested in seeing new places, learning about new cultures, or studying in places like Asia, France, or Germany, then studying abroad may be for you. Reporter Brooke Anderson delves into the study abroad programs here on campus.
From the beautiful, sandy shores of Costa Rica to the bright lights and bustling streets of Paris, the study abroad opportunities for Missouri Western students are endless. The students can choose between 3 different study abroad programs the university has to offer.
There are 3 different ways that we can help students study abroad. The first is a faculty-led type of situation in which one of our faculty creates a class that goes abroad and does their coursework while they are also learning on site about different places in the world. That is the shortest and also the most affordable type of trip we can offer. Secondly, we do have exchange programs with a number of different schools around the world, and we'll be happy to work with students. Those are usually a full semester or even a year long. Third, there are a number of independent companies that offer trips, and we have worked with a number of those.
The study abroad programs offer opportunities for all majors and areas of study. Students have the chance to get hands-on experience in a field of their choice and get involved in new and unique activities.
This past summer, we did something completely different. We had a trip that was really about applied learning. The students worked on a historic preservation site, and so they actually learned stonemasonry and stone cutting in French.
So, I chose Costa Rica, and I'm very glad I did. It was a beautiful country. They are so carefree, and there's no army there. There's no fighting there. They have their dangers like any other country, but I learned a lot about the culture, which was my aim in study abroad.
There are many ways to get started studying abroad. First, make an appointment with Tammy Gleiss at the Study Abroad office in Spratt Hall 105. Second, contact financial aid to get advice on cost and how to save up. Studying abroad can seem like a scary experience, but it doesn't have to be.
You know, I'm so glad now that I did it, and it's just something you just have to do no matter how scared you are. Study abroad will absolutely change your life and change your ideals and change the way that you think about not only your own social circle and your own environment, but the world.
It is very difficult to describe the benefits in some ways, because if you have not been abroad, it's an experience like no other. You learn about the world. It's not just education, though. It's culture. It's just seeing how other people live and think and broadening your own mind as a result of that.
There are many events held on campus by faculty members and students that help give students a more in-depth look at studying abroad.
Specifically, one that I have starting in October is called Travel Tuesdays. You'll see me advertising it on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on any kind of social media. It'll be hashtag Travel Tuesdays. The Study Abroad office will have all the information about it as well. It is a time around lunch period on Tuesdays every week that you can come to the coffee shop in Plum Union, and I'll be sitting there waiting for anyone to come ask me questions or just discuss study abroad. If you want to hear my stories, if you want some support, want to know who to contact, anything like that, I'll buy you a coffee. Come just sit and talk to me.
Don't miss out on a great opportunity to study in another country. Head down to Spratt Hall 105 today and get started discussing your study abroad experience.
For more information, contact the Study Abroad office or Carrie Barton at kbarton1@missouriwestern.edu.
Well, it's that time of year again, recruitment week, and the Phi Delts of Missouri Western held their third annual fall concert. Reporter Trez Colbert joined in the festivities.
Having a good time out there. Don't stop the party. Don't stop the party.
I'm Trez Colbert here at the third annual Phi Delta concert, giving you an inside look of the Greek life at Missouri Western.
Phi Delta Fall Concert. This is our third annual, so we're really pumped. We put a lot of work into it. I'm really pumped though to listen to DJ Apollo and have a bunch of freshmen come in, because the big recruitment is having people show up to all the events and get to know the guys, even though this isn't really like a talk to and sit down type of thing, but it's still just people hanging out with one another and seeing how you act outside of the classroom and being formal and everything. So that's something I really like about this event.
Not only did the Phi Delts put on a great event, they had a good time setting up for it.
Setting up for this event was fantastic. It was easy, it was simple. I had a bunch of my brothers come out and help. We just had a bunch of cool stuff, and I basically gave them free roam, said, all right, take everything we have and put it up. And we came up with the kind of the beach Hawaiian theme. Basically it was like, I'll wear Hawaiian shirts, wear your flip-flops, wear your swim trunks, come out with hula skirts and stuff like that.
In the middle of the concert, they gave the students an opportunity to show off their dance moves. There were different contestants. The crowd voted throughout the rounds, and Phi Delta's own Mitch Large came out with the win.
Try to dance, but I don't know what happened. I just got this rhythm, and somehow it just flows out.
Following the dance competition, Taryn Wade gave the crowd a taste of his beatboxing skills.
Another one.
Yeah, I just fell in love with it because it's easy. You can do it without having to pay money to buy instruments.
Today's event went really well. I'm glad we had that, but we do have a lot more funds left over for more events for incoming freshmen to have. We have more events coming up. We have some mixers coming up that everyone's invited to, and we're gonna have a lot more events for incoming students to be involved with. So that way they have a lot more stuff to do rather than just sit in the dorms.
I think we had a fantastic event. We had a lot of people actually come out. DJ did a fantastic job, did a great job. We learned a lot of stuff to improve this for the future, but definitely liked how it turned out tonight.
Everything could have been better, but overall it was good. It was pretty good. A lot of new kids got to see what we're about.
Just kind of follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, and we'll have more stuff for them to do.
For more information on the Phi Delts, follow them on Twitter at PhiDeltMoWest. We're really looking forward to the next year's concert.
That looked like a lot of fun. When we come back, sports anchor Amari Martin will join us for the Sports Report. Welcome back. This year on Griffon Update, we are introducing a new segment focusing on the sports at Missouri Western with our very own sports anchor and reporter, Amari Martin. Welcome to the Anchor Desk. It's all yours.
Thanks, and welcome back, Griffs. This fall's athletics has officially started. To start, the Griffon women's volleyball team kicked off its season at home with Oklahoma Baptist and Henderson State. The Griffon volleyball team hosted the MIAA GAC crossover for their home opener. In Game 1, the Grizz faced Oklahoma Baptist. The Grizz were on a roll with 63 kills. Missouri Western took the first set, winning it 25-22, but fell short in set 2, 23-25. In Game 4, the girls came out swinging, winning the series 3-1 to Oklahoma Baptist. Senior Jessie Thorold finished with 24 kills. But these girls are just getting started. In Game 2 against Henderson State, the Grizz were unstoppable and took all 3 sets, finishing with 41 kills. Freshman Shelby Taylor gets the perfect set from Jordan Chohan for a kill. The Grizz took both games, giving them an 8-game winning streak.
I think we've made huge improvements already, so I'm extremely excited to see kind of where we go from here on out. I think our blocking and our defense has really gotten a lot better and improved a lot, and I think also our offense and our hitting percentage specifically has improved a lot, so I'm extremely excited to see what the future has in store for us.
I think for the most part our defense has been really good. Our service C was a little shaky tonight, but normally our defense and our back row is pretty solid, and it gives us a lot of opportunities in the front row to spread the offense around.
We have really high expectations coming off such a good year last year. We've set our goals really high. We want to make the conference tournament and win it, and get that first berth to regionals that the program hasn't had, I think, in over a decade. So that's kind of where we're at, but we, for the time being, are just taking it 1 week, 1 game at a time, making sure that we take care of each individual opponent and not looking too far ahead.
The Griffons are ranked number 2 in the MIAA conference with an overall record of 10-2. The Griffs will face Central Oklahoma in their next home game. And I'm Amari Martin reporting from Griffon Update. The Griffon football team is back in action, hosting its home opener against Central Oklahoma. I am here at Spratt Stadium as the Griffon football team kicks off their home opener to Central Oklahoma. Both Griffons and Broncos fell short in week 1 by 1 point. It's game day in Griffon County. This is the first game under the renovation of Spratt Stadium. The Griffons battle Central Oklahoma in week 2, hoping to pull off their first win of the season. In the first quarter, senior D. Tolliver breaks away from the defender, setting up Dalen Harper for a 4-yard touchdown, putting the Griffs up 7-0. Senior Raphael Spencer had a big game after only rushing for 30 yards in week 1. Spencer hurdled multiple defenders after going down. He finished with 119 yards, but it doesn't stop here. In the second quarter, redshirt sophomore Josh Caldwell jukes a few defenders before scoring his first career college touchdown. The Griffs are now up 16-0. Missouri Western was on fire on defense, stopping the Broncos multiple times in the red zone. Here, Sam Brown goes up and snags his first pick of the season while falling into the end zone. He and Mike Jordan had a phenomenal game, combining for 3 interceptions. Jordan finished with 2 interceptions, 4 pass breakups, and 4 tackles, while Brown finished with 5 tackles. but the Broncos didn't go away. With the fumble on the play by Missouri Western, UCO's Ben Jones scoops and scores the first touchdown of the game. The Broncos trail 26-10. That's a great game for the Griffins. They go on to beat the Broncos 26-16 in their home opener.
As a whole, I feel like we did good, especially first half. I feel like we came out aggressive. Top to bottom, I feel like we had a good outing. But the second half, I feel like we got to finish better. But that comes with time and getting used to it. And any win in this conference is huge.
It would be best that they, we have 0 points on the board, but if they do score, we got to keep it on the 14. And we just got to execute defensively, and we'll come out with a win.
The Griffs are currently 3-1 in the MIAA conference. They hope to continue this winning streak throughout the rest of the season. And I'm Amari Martin reporting from Griffon Update. In our last report, one man's dreams of playing college football came to an end after being wrongly accused and spending time in prison. Brian Banks came to Missouri Western to tell his story. The Missouri Western Center of Student Involvement hosted a Stand in Your Truth lecture with special guests, former NFL player Brian Banks.
Brian Banks is happening tonight, and we actually like authentic speakers that tell us a little bit about their lives and the past that they've come through and how they've succeeded throughout their life and how they've overcome some obstacles that have been in their way. So we're just trying to inspire the students to see, this is a different perspective about life, and you can still overcome things even though obstacles have happened.
2002, at the age of 16, I was on my way to USC on a full scholarship. I had one more year left in high school. I mean, my numbers were out of this world. Football was everything to me.
Brian Banks was a top prospect, ranked 11th in the nation. Brian had multiple offers to play anywhere he wanted to. He was recruited by several colleges from Division I and all the way down, but he verbally committed to the University of Southern California.
My freshman year in high school, I realized how important football was when I got my first recruiting letter at the end of that year from USC. I knew then that somebody recognized me and that somebody wanted to see me do big things. So football was my ticket out.
Banks' dreams of playing college football came to an end when he was falsely accused of rape. In 2008, Banks and a classmate he knew since middle school went to an area on campus known as the Makeout Spot. They made out but did not have sex. Later that day, in a blink of an eye, Brian Banks was arrested on false accusations.
I remember standing in the courtroom as the judge started reading off the sentence to me, and everything just kind of went in one ear and out the other. It was like I didn't even hear what was going on. And then I was escorted out of the courthouse, put back in juvenile hall, and within a few weeks, I was sent off to prison, straight from juvenile hall.
Banks spent 5 years in prison and 5 years on parole on a crime he did not commit. In 2012, 10 years later, Brian Banks was exonerated and was now a free man. Juanita Gibson, his accuser, confessed the truth in hope that her and Banks could let everything go.
Different ways that you can handle things. You can go about, you can go about your life forgiving people. You can go about your life not forgiving, or you can completely just separate yourself from the situation altogether, and that's what I did. I didn't really worry about if I forgave her or not. I just simply moved on.
Banks was eager to get back on the football field. Banks had several tryouts, one of them being Seattle. Banks was thrilled to be able to try out. Seattle coach Pete Carroll saw potential in Banks, but he felt like it was too early because he hadn't played in 10 years. Banks continued to try out for teams, the 49ers, Chiefs, Vikings, Chargers, Eagles, and the Falcons. Finally, in 2013, after playing with the Las Vegas Locomotives, the Atlanta Falcons signed Banks.
One of the best experiences I've ever had, running out of the tunnel, smoke and fire and flames going up, the crowd cheering your name, being able to finally play and be on the field and just share that experience, something I thought I lost, so long ago. It was amazing. Every moment of it, from practice to meetings to playing the games to the moments in between when you get to talk about it with friends and family, it was all amazing. I wouldn't want to change it. It's how things played out is how God intended things to play out. So I just enjoyed every moment of it.
Banks was released from the Falcons but is currently traveling, telling people his powerful story.
What stuck out to me the most about that whole situation, his whole story, was how calm he was able to stay during his whole process in prison. You know, I know that's not easy because I had a personal family member who went through not the exact same case, but had to spend time in prison for an amount of time, and it wasn't easy for him. And the way he dealt with it, 10 years for something that he didn't do, just completely out of control.
You know, you got to take everything with a grain of salt, and you really have to just step back and, you know, just think about what's going on and think about the best positive way to, you know, conduct that situation instead of going on with so much anger and so much animosity and stuff, because it's never, as long as you hold on to negativity, it's never going to end in a positive manner.
The Center of Student Involvement is looking forward to many more guests to come and speak in the Standing Your Truth lecture series. And I'm Amari Martin reporting from Griffon Update.
For more information on Griffon sports, go to gogriffons.com.
Well, that's our show.
For all of us here at Griffon Update, thank you for watching. For more news and information about Missouri Western and the surrounding region, tune into Griffon Update on Channel 39 or catch us on our Vimeo channel at vimeo.com/GriffonUpdate.